Hey guys, and welcome back to the Tuesday stream. We're back playing some Kerbal Space Program. Of course we are. Do we do anything different? My name is Twitchi, and we are going into my career mode. Hey Famagtha, how are you doing? We got echo. How bad's the echo? I am in an echoey space right now, and I don't really have a lot of things to throw over walls, unfortunately. Oh, that was fixed it. Oh no. Oh wow. I mean, I didn't do anything, so that's... Maybe I got close to my mic, maybe I got further away from my mic. Who knows? We're just going to deal with the things that come up as they arrive. Last night, I was watching the Dart mission. I don't know if you guys saw any of that. I watched pretty much the entire thing live, all the way from it being... there was a live camera on the impactor. I was like, no, you've got to be kidding. Really? Is that a thing? It took about 40 seconds due to mostly light lag, but also to the fact that they had to process it and send it through the stream, right? 40 seconds between the camera taking the picture and it coming live onto our screens. That was amazing. Talking of amazing, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Look at this. We got two asteroids over here. We got another one over there, and they're all very close to each other. Look how close. So I reckon if we launch up an impactor of some description and try and smack this asteroid, do we want to try and smash this asteroid and slow it down at its periaps so that its apoaps comes down? I think that's gonna go. I think that's gonna be the winner. Let's go and have a look at the asteroid, see how big it is, how much it's gonna take to move. Now, I don't know if you guys are physicists. I doubt it. I mean, I think I'm pretty much the only the trained physicist amongst us here. But there's a very, very famous equation. I say very famous equation. There's quite a famous equation. I love that view. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? To do with the conservation of momentum. It's very simple. If you take the speed of this rock, it's quite fast. Times it by the mass, you get a number, and then you also do the same with the rocket, and then those numbers should be the same afterwards. Like if you add them together, the numbers will be the same after the collision, right? You know, and we're going to bring the spacecraft to a complete stop. We're going. Whoop. Now the thing is, I've been playing this game for a long time. Hey, Landstrider, how you doing, Leanne? I keep forgetting what I called you, but you know, there we go. Hey, Landstrider, how you doing? Made it on time. You did indeed make it on time. Now, I know that if we wanted to do the biggest change of momentum, what we'd do is we'd launch up a craft and bring it round in the other direction, right? Now, there is a big problem with that, because Kerbal is a game, and games have frame rates, and if we're moving 1.6 kilometers every second, well, this rock is not 1.6 kilometers wide, even at a 60th of that, right? We could be here one frame and here the next, so we're not going to be able to. Well, I mean, we might do that. I'm gonna launch two missions. Both of them are going to be like high mass impactors. We're gonna send an ore tank up. It's going to have full of ore. I'm going to pay the money for some ore. We're going to send one in a completely backwards orbit, and the other one is just going to be a little bit slower. And we're going to see how that works out. There's a little reminder for me to tell me what we're supposed to be doing. All right, let's go to the vehicle assembly building. Let's make those things. SPS over physics, Twitchy, as old legends once said. Exactly. You got to worry. Got to take these things into account when you do indeed live in a simulation. I mean, some might say that the existence of the Planck units, the Planck distance, Planck energy, Planck mass, blah, 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 is indeed the frame rate of our universe, the smallest distance you can move and stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually mean that. It means those are the smallest distances that make sense in our current mathematical modelling. But you know, let's not get bogged down in the details here. I'm going to go ahead and just bam. How heavy is that? Do we have a thing here that look 17,000 kilograms? That's very, very heavy. Your weekend went horribly wrong. How did your weekend go horribly wrong? My weekend went all right. Just throwing that out there. Okay, let's spent some time with my girlfriend, chilled out. Yeah, it was good. Good times. I am going to put some way of moving this craft. Like, this is the impactor. Do we call this D-A-R-T? I mean, it's not a double. Do we call this SART? Single asteroid redirect. Oh, man, what's the T? I can't remember what the T stands for. Anyway. Let's put in... now, I think I'm just going to go for one of these cheap ones. We don't really need to be doing too much here, do we? That's 360. Can we literally do that? Wait, I need to find out what it's got actually... what I can do here. We can look at stuff. We've just got stability assist. Okay, that's good. That's all I need. But we do need a little bit more to actually be able to steer this craft around. We don't want the... do we want one of those? I'm going to go with one of those. But what I was actually thinking of, the SAS units to point us in a direction that we want to, is of course the RCS tank here. That will then enable me to put a bunch of these thruster blocks around the outside. Most of the mass is inside this ore tank here. So I'm going to assume that's all I need to be able to steer and turn this. I'm sure at some point I will find out that this is totally not the way we need to do it, but that's what we're going to do. How would Kerbal measure frame rate when it doesn't exist in between? I know, right? I know. There's a question that's coming up in my future because I'm studying general relativity and quantum dynamics and stuff like that. Yes, it is as hard as it sounds. But one of the concepts that we have to get through our heads is seeing curvature when you are inside the curve, right? In the same manner that, when we're on the surface of the planet, we can't really see the curve. But we can imagine... Come with me on a journey. Take your brain up out of the surface of the Earth, and you can see the sphere that is the Earth, right? How do you do that for the universe? Can you imagine what the universe looks like from the outside to bend it? I can't. So we got to come up with this thing called intrinsic curvature, and that's a really awkward thing to deal with. Anyway, that's my little chat for the day. How's your guys' science going? Is this all we need? Solar panels. Solar panels. Now, we could do this much like the Dart mission itself. I noticed that it had a very weird way of doing it. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to actually stick it like this. Extend those solar panels. Now, what I want to be able to do, no, not mirror, is to offset these. No, that one. And then do they flatten out in the right direction? Yeah, okay. I mean, we need to use a larger one. Do I have a picture of the Dart mission anyway? What about this? What we got? Yeah, okay, all right. Hello, look at the Dart craft here. What I'm particularly looking at is it's this thing in the middle, and then solar power panel. I know what I'm trying to say, at the top and the bottom. You see how they're not in a line? I thought that was quite weird. Okay, your dad somehow got into trouble telling social services and kicked in a teacher who had been bullied. Yeah, that's terrible. Hey MLT, how are you doing? I hope you're having good times. Hope you're having good times. So I've just noticed that my Discord is pinging at me in the background. Let's check that out. Okay, cool. So we're gonna need a bigger solar panel than that. It's a good arrangement, but I could technically, we all know this, send a much smaller craft, right? But I want as much mass as possible to see whether that actually, I mean, I should really be doing one of each. One that's got as much mass as possible, and one that's literally just trying to see whether that even does a thing or not, right? Whether that's actually true or not. But we'll go with this. That looks horrific. I think I might go with it though, but it really does look horrific. Let's move that in there, and something like that. Do people feel bad about that? I kind of feel bad about that. Let's retract those solar panels. We'll send them. That's good. That's good. We can't know the frame rate of our simulation, but it implies that there is a whole other time scale. Well, so there would be all sorts of weird phenomena to observe. So if the Kerbals were like, oh, I don't exist in the frame rate, much like I was saying, there would be a ship one side, and then suddenly it would teleport to the other side. That's one way of knowing that there is a problem, right? A frame rate, because things just kind of disappear and appear elsewhere. MTL, the stream says it's good my end. Is anybody else suffering? No one else is lagging. I'm afraid that's just you, my friend. Okay, anyway, let's move this. I kind of don't like where it is. I don't know whether this is going to completely upset the center of mass, but we can move things around. That's fine. Let's do that. Does that still look central to you? It doesn't look central to me, does it? It's not moving. Like, if I go all the way over here, it makes a difference, but it's not moving that much. How about if we grab this bottom one here and just move it a little bit like that. Does that look like it might have centered back up? That looks like it's centered back up to me. Okay, so welcome to the Dart mission. I think that looks pretty good. I wonder whether we actually want to put the engine on there. Look at that. Whoa. No, we want to put... I've not even thought about an engine for this thing. We do want to be able to have control. We've got control from the thrusters. Is that enough, or do I want to put a little... Oh, man, that's a tiny fuel tank. Let's come down to the bottom here. Is that the right size fuel tank? That's the fuel tank I was looking for. The moment I start putting engines on this, we're going to have some problems of mass balance. But I think, actually, we're okay. And I'm okay with a little bit of part clipping in this particular instance. You know, I'm not saying that this is a particularly great mission, particularly... let's show that, sorry. Since you also disappear and not observable, since but you would be able to predict that things had hit each other, right? You would be able to predict things, and then they wouldn't happen. Sorry, talking about how a Kerbal would be able to tell the existence of a frame rate. Do we have a big one? I think we're gonna have a big one. The problem is it's not quite there. That's not where I want to put it. I want to be able to put this. All right, we're gonna have to do this in a weird way, and I will show you. So the SART we are going to save. There we go. And then we want a new thing. I feel a little bit weird doing that, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna get one of these and click on it and go, hey, could we have the interstate? No, trust structure. No. Maybe I need to pull something into it to show us. Okay, so we open this up, and I don't want to save it because we haven't done too much at the moment. We just put down an airstream there, and we're looking for the SART. Can we? Yeah, hello, thanks. The single asteroid redirect mission. Gemini. I've got a feeling that wasn't one of mine. Indigo, nice. I know how the alphabet works. I do promise to you. There we go, SART, lovely. Let's grab... Oh, I didn't hit merge. You have no idea how often I do that. It hurts. It really hurts. Open, don't save. I don't like the fact that it's taking so long to load up my stuff now. I wanted the merge button down here. Ugh, like I say, I do that so often. It's still not letting me stick it where I want to stick it. That's how about if we go reroute from here to there? Does that? That's still not allowing me. I was fairly sure it was a thing. There we go. On interstage nodes. There we go. All right. It was indeed available to us. I just didn't quite tell. So now that I've done that, I also want to take off another copy, right? You know, let's grab one of those. Is that including this down here? It's not. Do you guys see what I'm trying to click on? It's the fuel tank that I put onto it. You know what? I think I'll just stick another fuel tank down. Let's do that instead. It's probably the much easier and quicker way of doing this. One of these, because of course, as I say, I want to do two missions, one that's going with the orbit and one that goes against the orbit. So I lost my control key off my keyboard a little while ago. It just wore through, you know, where the peg goes into the back of the key, snapped around, and now I cannot press control without hitting my Windows key by accident. I've been kind of looking around, not at the chat. Spend so much time editing. I know what it's like when you spend so much time editing and you just can't get people to watch your stuff. And you're like, but it's really good stuff. And they're just like, why would I even click on your thumbnail? Launched a mission yesterday. That's nice. So about your YouTube channel, really annoyed about it, and I wish I could fix, but you don't know how. I mean, I think both me and Landstrider will tell you that neither of us knew why our channels got to the size they did or why they then started falling down again. Yeah, I don't... So we'll give as much advice as we can, but like most people that had a modicum of success, we'd just be telling you what we think, not what actually happened, you know. Right, so I need to have. Are we gonna send some Kerbals with this? I mean, we could slam a Mach 2 on the bottom of here. What I suppose we really need to do, especially as this is going to start costing us money at some point, is to think if there's any tourists that we could take with us. Okay, let's read. This is Dart because there's two of them, right? We'll save this. Honestly, that's what the mission stands for. It wasn't two asteroids; it was two craft that we crashed. Did any of you guys watch it last night? That's a question I have to ask you. I mean, it all started with look at this. Oh, not that one. Not this one. I'm trying to click on. You see this little black. This. You see this little dot right here. This was the point where I first noticed that the asteroid we were looking at was in fact 2 asteroids. You might be able to see it right in the middle of there. I've got a red square somewhere. Here we go. Hello, red square. It's sat on the bottom. Let me just move this up. All right, cool. Red square. Sorry. High production values as per normal. So you see that? See that little... Like, if we zoom in there, there's a secondary pixel there. There's a secondary pixel there. That was the moment I was like, wait, we're actually going to do it. We're actually going to smash into a moon of an asteroid. I mean, that was absolutely crazy. All right, we're going to go to mission control. We're going to see if there's any... no, not that one. I want to take a tourist to an asteroid. If that's a thing that I'm allowed to do, I will be doing that. Let's just count. No, not here. Bring a tourist over the site. Low Kerbin. Or we might get this one just because they want to go to the right orbit. It's so inspiring, this tune. Visit an asteroid. There we go. Oh, we get 1 million for that? We need a pilot. Okay, we can throw a pilot on there. We need to have everyone on the runway or the launch pad. We can do that. Kerbin above the altitude with an asteroid. Look at this. All right, yeah, we could do this and earn ourselves 1 million. Money up front? I don't know. You see that? Wait, what, you missed a moon asteroid collision? You did. Last night. About midnight my time. I don't know what that works out for you guys. I mean, very shortly afterwards, this. Look at this. This is a tiny. Oh man, wait. I put things in the wrong place, so the pictures are tiny. Look. This was one a little time later where it wasn't just a little dot. There was actually 2. You still couldn't tell at this point what they looked like, though. You know, this was the point where the spacecraft had sent back a little blip to mission control to be like, hey, I've spotted the other one. Because when DART originally arrived in this system, if you will, you know, we're still thousands of miles away at this point. I don't know exactly how many, maybe hundreds of miles. But when it arrived in the system, the moon was actually behind the asteroid. Wait, can I use a red square? Give me my red square. I can't. Oh, all right, I'm just the moon was behind the asteroid. And yeah, 20 minutes away from impact, a great big cheer went up as everyone was like, yeah, we finally able to get the craft looking at the right thing. And that was great. That was amazing. I have lots more pictures from last night. I was stealing screen caps all the time. I was just like, this is a great picture. I'm going to grab this one. I mean, like, my favorite picture. That one. But we'll talk about that one in a little bit. Okay. Right, so we're gonna look. This lander can. How many can it take? Let's have a look. We go to the crew and we go. It can take 2. All right. So I mean, to me, it just seems like we want to put 2 of them in. Can anyone think of any better routes? I think we do have other routes available to us. We do have the hitchhiker storage container. Now that has room for 4. But the problem is, it doesn't have the ability to steer or take control of the craft. I'm not sure that I'm that bothered about that. Are you guys that bothered about that? Hillwin, Burbles, who are we going to send? Wigwill? I think we're going to send one of our new pilots. I also would like to think about what they're wearing. So, like, Wigwill, like, we really want you wearing this. Okay, that's good. You are wearing the right clothes. All right. I was worried that maybe you were not. Burbles, also a pilot, so we got to make sure there's more red. Drag more red. I like to have a consistent uniform across my peoples here. And Hillwin, also a red pilot. All right, great. Wonderful. All right. Anyway, we want 1, 2, 3 tourists. Am I just going to throw a pilot in there to be like a little ride along? And then at the top, wait, do I have a sub-assemblies? 2-meter control unit. I think that's what we're going to do. Like, we put that on there and we put that in there. Great. So it's going to be flown by robot, but we've got the pilot on board to meet, not that one, not that one, not that one, this contract, what's the word that I'm looking for? Requirement. Contract requirement. Okay, let me just swatch my chat from top to live, because sometimes stuff gets put through that I don't know about, and if there's one thing I don't like, it's when my chat happens and I don't know about it. That would be very bad. Now, this is just a craft that is going up to space to go and hang around somewhere around asteroids, right? We're going to watch the impact and then we're going to fly in closer. Do I need a big craft for that? I don't think I need a big craft for that. Do you guys think I need a big craft for that? I just don't think so. Those are the asteroid. You know what? Those asteroid missions up there can stay there. I'm wondering if we need any more than just this. You know, I don't really use these thud engines very often because they're not very good. Well, I say they're not very good. They have an engine ISP in the vacuum of only 300. Now, the bigger number is the better. If I look at the cheater over here, this is 350. So, you know, it's big. It's big. I will need to return at some point. It is true. I will need to return at some point. But I think this will... I mean, we've got 1,100. And then if I go ahead and put like 4,000 underneath, we've got an entire mission that's just going up to the asteroids up there. I want to mark 25. Okay, or something like that. Does this need anything in particular? It's got everything that I'm thinking of, right? Need to turn these off just in case. That's my safety tank. I like to put safety tanks on everything in the same way that I have safety photovoltaic, safety solar panels, just in case I forget to open up my big solar panels. You know, I also have a safety tank in case I run out of fuel, and then we open it up. Hey, SRWB General Kenobi, how you doing? That small pause was brought to you by caffeine. If you haven't enjoyed your cup of caffeine today, the caffeine barons would like to know why. So who do you think benefits most from the coffee production? You know, is that Nescafe? Is there some shadowy back conspiracy council? Is that what we're calling them? That actually run the caffeine game? You know, is that a thing that happens? Is that a thing? Wow, that's only got 1.5 delts in it. That is crazy. This whole thing here only gets us halfway to space. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We can deal with that. I'm going to put a bunch of boards around the outside. You're good. You can't have caffeine. You're too young. I mean, fair play. Fair play. I have definitely got too dependent on it. There are days where I will just sit there and drink, I don't know, over a dozen cups, which is too much. It's too much. Let's put that there, and then we slam this on the wrong side. It's not what I want, but we'll take it to begin with. Can we then rotate this back outside of the craft? Yep, there we go, like that. I like that. That's cool. That's really cool. I want to select this hydraulic manifold. All right, how about this hydraulic manifold? The reason I couldn't grab the one over here is because when you're too close, like, it won't let me grab this tank because it thinks I'm trying to grab the arrows, right? So we'll bring this down like so, pull this out a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's throw another blank tank. Yeah, you heard me. So something like that. Does that look right? Let's put the ESA colors on it. Doesn't look right, does it? Doesn't look right at all. We're gonna have to go with that one. I mean, it's wastage of tank, but look at that. Right, that looks better, if you ask me. Have we got different options here? No, not really. Okay, that. Yeah, all right. We're gonna go with that. It's a good look. It's a good look. You can disagree with me if you like, of course. Of course there. Yeah, of course. There's an avocado mafia. Is there? I was not aware, but yeah, it totally makes sense. Like, avocado's big money, right? Big money. Yeah, and so I've actually been thinking these thoughts, you know, when you're late at night, when you're all on your own and your brain's just working a little bit overtime, you know, is there a different mafiosa between the tea and the coffee? You know, you'd imagine so, but at the same time, who knows? Because they're different plants that grow in different regions, right? Okay, is this now looking like a better take? Oh, look at that, 4.3. I mean, that's still not great, but the reason being, if we come down to this, I can't remember who it was who showed me this. You might even be in the chat right now, and I thank you so much if it was. Look at this slider here that tells you what the pressure is. If we're in vacuum, look, we get 4,700. I generally just leave it on altitude and be like, well, this is sea level, and this is vacuum, right? Yeah, good. Tea and coffee are not the same. They're not, but they've both got caffeine in them. So are they run by the same caffeine barons who want to take your hard-earned money off you first thing in the morning? Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this. I will continue to talk about it, though. I kind of want to put... Will this work? Is this going to just we need to get closer. There's a problem with these big rockets. When you start building these big rockets, the VAB is just not the winner here. Like so. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. How about my favourites, thumpers? I mean, are they even going to do anything? Does they even contribute here? Wait, where are they? They're down the bottom. Let's move all of these down into that. I mean, they do actually contribute. Look, 4,400 as opposed to 4,300. Oh, wow, they do a 400 each. Just put them away, shall we? It's mainly because I want to use the hard points. They are, if you ask me, the best looking parts in the whole game. Look at that nice little back sweep. They work like decouplers. There's another larger version when you open up some more of the tech tree. But I can never find a place to use them ever. Like maybe in some planes, occasionally I find places to use them. But almost always, this is a better choice. It sticks you out a little bit. Because I want to, we're going to do it. We're going to literally use this in place of where give me one of those. In place of where I would normally put one of those big springy decouplers. Just cause I want to. I'm sure there's reasons why that would make it totally not good. I don't know if I want to be stacking liquids on the outside here. Like, by far the most efficient way of burning fuel is via the liquids, but at the same time, it's expensive. It's super expensive. Let's move that up there like that. 3.9. I need to put. What's the best sea level ISP? 265. If anybody knows that one off the top of their head, it would be great. I've got a feeling it's probably something like the Skipper 280. It's pretty good. Swivel 250. I thought it was going to be the Reliant, actually, to be honest with you. 265 here. I think, yeah, it's the Skipper, right? It's going to be the Skipper, 265. It gets a little weird when you're looking at the main sail, though, because it burns so much fuel. And I also don't think I can fit it on the bottom of here. Oh, nearly. What about that? No, none of those work. All right, we're not going to use the main sail. The reason I did go to the Skipper was because I think it does. Yeah, look at that. Fit on the bottom of the Mark 1 tank like that. It's egregious. It's a horrific overuse. But I think it's good. Let's move this. Yay? Does that look good to people? I think so. Nose cone. And then I think we're good to roll. Who doesn't think we're good to roll? I can tell you a number of reasons why we're not good to roll. First off, we do not have fuel lines running from the outside to the inside. Now, this is something that needs to happen on all stages. If I'm using liquids, I might as well use the asparagus stage of liquids. Because this is by far the most efficient way. It shares the fuel from the outside tanks amongst all of the stages. Is that good? That's good, right? Great. Meaning that when we throw the outside tanks away, all the inner cores are still fully fueled. It's a big thing in the Kerbal environment, to be honest with you. When people first discovered that it was a thing that could be done through priorities and stuff, it was like, wow. But anyway, I think... Are we good? Are we there? Are we done? Is it a thing now? Are we ready to roll? Should we just save it and go and just see whatever it is we need to fix, and we'll fix it along the route? I think that might be the way that we're going to do it now. I do feel like I almost want to make sure that my boosters come down and get recovered, but like every time I do that, it fails. So let's just go. I see no OBS disconnected. Are we back? Man, that was like half a second. I don't know what happened there. I dropped it in the chat that there was an OBS error. But it doesn't say it's dropped any frames. It was just like, yep, disconnected, reconnected. I don't know what I did there. Anyway, look here, two rock. You can start to see what's going on with the two asteroids. Like, no, I still can't actually get to the thing I want to. Look at this little this little boulder sticking out from the asteroid there. Like the surface details going on are unbelievable. 7 million miles away, I think it was. They said 7 million miles away. Like that's a distance. That is a distance. Anyway, talking of distance, we don't have any passengers. Why not? 3 tourists. Is it only the tourists? I thought I put people in, but it turns out I was wrong. This must have been before I changed to the lander capsule. All right. Well, I mean, here we go. We'll revert. So last week I was streaming to you via the wonders of my mobile phone. It was the first serious test I had of living in the middle of Cardiff city centre as opposed to out on the outskirts like I was last year. But this year I've got myself an Ethernet connection. It goes into the wall, and the company that I'm living with are telling me that I've got 20 megabytes down and 20 megabytes, 25 up, and stuff like that. They sung a big game, like 200 down. Sorry, not 20. But I've got, as always, putting that to the test has not come through for me. It's got to be said. I might even, for the foreseeable future, switch back to using, like, whilst I am using the daily internet, you know, watching YouTube, downloading games, playing something, you know, like that's all fine. But it turns out this, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. It could have been an OBS fault. It might not actually have been the connection. Asteroid. Sorry. All right, we in? Are we good? Are we good? All right, here we go. We are going to take these 3 tourists, Rodfield, Kirkus, and Tradbury. Hillwyn nominally flying. Supposedly, they feel like they're in control, but let's be honest, they're not. Okay, I noticed no space tape up the top there, so we're going to have a floppy rocket. But when has that ever stopped me from pressing on? So, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Still less lag than the solid boosters from last week. I'm just going to hit this button a couple of times. No, continue. Well, this is a spectacular one. This is good. They're not normally that great. That button. Got bits trailing up there. Look at them go. Look at them go. In fact, I think we get more information with this stuff here. I'd like to take a moment of silence for our 3 tourists. Of course, this will force the public to ask questions about the safety of such things. Anyway, we're going to revert back to the vehicle assembly. We're going to put some space tape on. We're going to go put some space tape on. Welcome to the testing zone. Okay, I'm guessing that my title is not drawing people in. Let's try kinetic impactors for roids. I mean, all I want to do is get kinetic impactor on the title. Let's see if that brings people in. We'll find out. YouTube will be like, oh, you've changed your title. Let me go ahead and show that to a bunch of new people. It's part of the game that I don't do all that often is tailoring stuff, but I feel like this one out of any mission should actually be able to grab some faces. What was the last mission that I just happened to mention in my title, and it brought in like an extra 100 people. It was great. All right. Well, I've put the space tape where I believe it to be needed. We're going to save it. We're going to launch it. We're going to try again. Moment of reverting. No silence. No silences here. Apart from that one, that's a big silence right there. Here's the next one where it's just the little moon. So like this one here. Oh look, they're over the top of each other. You can actually see. Can I? The same thing, right? They are the same thing. But this was just a little bit closer too. A little bit closer. Can we make that bigger? And the thing that everybody is questioning, of course, at this point is what's this? What's going on with that thing right there? I mean, unfortunately, these are questions that literally haven't been answered yet. So all we can do is look. Go, is that a boulder that's like big enough to stick up over the edge of the asteroid enough to get lit up? You know, imagine that like this nose was taller enough to go over the VAB. You know. Anyway, let's try this again. Predictions? Anyone think this is going to go well? 3. Wait. I say that, and now I'm like, wait, we need to make sure that we're actually in line somehow. I might even say that's good enough. Do you guys think that's good enough? No, we're going to go around 3 hours in game, right? It's 3 hours in game. Voyage to Moho, 10 days time. Though we are all a little bit suspicious about whether it's actually got enough fuel to slow down and stop. Okay, 3 hours. Here we go. Let's just blast our way through. Where are we? We're there at the launch site. This guy over here, right? When none of these things swirling around. We are this one here. Now, we want to make sure... Look, we're going to try and hit this asteroid here. You see this one going around? That's the one we're going to try and hit. But we want to try and hit it on the other side of Kerbin, right? Like, hitting it on this side, no good. That will not give us what we want. Hitting it on the other side over there, that's really what we want. Let's get a little closer to the line. Okay, so we know we need to go northeast. That's easy enough to do. It's interesting that I'm not sure how to word this to you guys, but it's making my physics brain go, all right, yeah, frames of reference or something. So on this side of the planet we go south but east, and on this side of the planet we go north but east. I find it more interesting that the east is preserved than that it's north or south. You know, like that jumps out at me. That makes me go, Okay, we've got half the electric charge in our engine. 3, 2, 1. I need an actual checklist, right? Go. So we're going this way. Give or take. There's a bit of a wobble up there. Do you guys see that wobble? There's a bit of a wobble. But I think we should be able to hold it fine. Yeah, alright. If this goes bad, we need to take a connector from here up to that. Wow, that is loud in my ears. Is that loud for you guys? Is that as loud as it sounds to me? Let's just ease that down there and then come into my game and ease it down. I probably even need to stage by now, but I had to turn that down. All right, are we close to staging? We are not close to staging. Wow. I thought we'd be very much closer to staging by now. That's fine though. That's fine. These are not problems. 700 meters per second. Of course, we are headed for a very high orbit, so it doesn't matter that we're going quite as upright as we are. Stage went well. Okay, that's nice. Why have these... Oh. How... Something went wrong there. Something went very wrong there. It feels like this one... Yeah, look, it's the wrong priority. This should be down on a 30. I wonder how that happened. Why that happened. And which automatic system made that happen? I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's not the end of the mission. It's definitely not pushing me into some troubles. But it is a little bit of an inefficiency that I wish wasn't there. I wish was not there. Okay, we seem to be doing incredibly well. Are ready to stage. Get rid of that. Tanks. Okay, we're good. We're very good. We're already up and in orbit. Well, we're not up in orbit. We're up out of the atmosphere. You can tell by the game music. Oh man, we are pretty severely off on this. Well, it's not severe, but it's quite a inclination difference. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. The end of the world's like that little bit over there. You see that just round the corner? There's the end of the world. Okay, so we have got an apoapsis of 500,000 and 0.8 of a million. So I'm going to try and take this up to 750. Now that I'm stopping to think about it, we might actually just stop here because we're going to need some wiggle room, right? We're going to need to be able to come in here, add the maneuver, fly up, and at the same time, we need to be able to try and... Oh, is that the one there? That is not the one there because I want this meeting to happen round at Periaps. Man, that's a distance. That is a distance. Can we use this to make that happen? I mean, kind of. Look at these. 152, 140. If I then push this... Oh, not that way. Okay, all right. I mean, that's pretty good. We'll take that one. I am going to go for this impact. Going slower than it. Of course I am, because I've got a smaller orbit. But only by 100 odd. Now, I'm going to... Yeah, we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this because there is a meeting there. Am I going to come up behind it? Going to come up in front of it? I don't know. Welcome to a testing program. I actually don't know which way this is going to work when we're in like the relative inertia frame, right? When the asteroid is the stationary thing, am I coming up from in front of it, behind it? Am I faster than it? Am I slower than it? It's hard to tell because all we really know is Kerbin being the stationary thing, right? But hey, we'll see. We see what's up, yo. We see what's up. If I can stop here, stop here. About that, yo. I think that's good. We're just going to go up and make this circularization burn. 1.3 kilometers per second. That should be nice and easy. A little bit early. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens. We're going to have to make some adjustments as we move around anyway, so that should be fine. I'm surprised we've got this far without mishap. Actually, it looks like we're good. I'm almost certain that by the time we get round to trying to impact, there will be a problem, but that's fine. That's fine. Ah, look. I know, it's because so what I was about to point out was all the different SASs that I have access to, but I wonder whether it's actually because I've got a smarter probe core than I thought I did, or is it because our pilot here is helping out? I actually don't know. I actually don't know. I'm not sure where my core is, so I can't... My probe core, so I can't quite tell. There are, of course, ones on here, but these ones are not... These are very dumb, these ones, so it can't be those. It's got to be in there somewhere. Is there an aim camera? There's an aim camera. Can we go inside and look around? Hello? What do we have here? There it is. That's the smart probe core right there, and indeed it is the smartest probe core that I have access to. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. Kerbals can't help. Is that true? They can't help from... I might... disagree. This is something we're going to have to put to test. Yeah, actually, no, because they're in the hitchhike. I don't know. We'll go find out, right? What's the problem there? Okay, let's have a look at this. You know what? We're gonna leave it here because I don't see any reason why I'm going to want to revert from this point. We're good here. We're not going to be able to test this in sandbox, are we? Because if we go into a sandbox and load, we're just going to try a few things quick. Because I'm curious. Can they? Like, obviously, in the capsule, you would imagine them to. If we put them in any capsule, then that should be fine. We have access, obviously, to the lowest probe core in Sandbox. Can I... Hello? Get in there. Great. So if I was to first start with this little guy here, like this guy, right? We know that if we press launch... and then T. I say we know. I just want to prove this on camera, you know? It's a thing we're going to do. Hey Kakachofka, how are you doing? We are in the middle of just testing a little something. I am inclined to believe Felmagfa, but we've had a Kerbal capabilities with probe core question, right? So this probe core, as you can see, it can only do the stability assist. If you press T, it's only got one autopilot it can run. And we're going to go back to the vehicle assembly building. And if you put a Kerbal in a hitchhiker's canister, they cannot do other things. They cannot do the stuff. Let's go with the crew capsule because it's the no. We'll stick with the same, the testy test. Okay, so now do I even have a Jeb here? Okay, we got Corbury. All right, so this should only be a stability assist, right? Even though Corbury has the ability to do everything because he's a level 5 pilot. Of course, this is not science. I am trying to prove something here, not disprove. I suppose I'm trying to disprove Felmagfa, but that's not actually what I'm trying to do. I'm just try to assert my own. Oh, it works. Look, we got them all. Oh, that's something I would for completeness. We would now have to go and test this in a career mode, but I'm not going to do that on the pad. I might do it later after stream if someone reminds me to do that. But there we go. It looks like actually yes they do stack. Crazy. That actually was not what I was expecting. It was just something that I didn't know. And if I run into things I don't know, the good student that I am, I go and find out, you know. Thank you very much. Let's leave. Ooh, close. Which one are we up to now? This one? Look at it. It's the same tiny asteroid, but much closer. Things were getting really hype at this point. The stream that I was watching had the PI and was it the launch director? No, someone else involved at the time. And by this point, they were getting really. I don't think jumpy's quite the right word, but like look at it. The spacecraft was definitely headed the right way at this point. You know that's a thing. Because up until it looked very specifically at the second moon, how did we know it wasn't going to crash into the big one, right? How did we know? Let's go to tracking station. So yeah, the DART mission happened last night. If you were not aware, I see there's a new viewer or two. And so we have taken inspiration, as you would, and launched ourselves a craft. I've got a couple of asteroids that need to be moved closer together. So of course, the way I'm going to do that is with kinetic impactors. I honestly am not sure how good this is going to be. I don't know whether the game has the appropriate mathematics baked into it. But the only way to find out, of course, is to go do. I think we're going to deploy these right now. And there's our two impactors. Let's extend these solar panels because I completely forgot to make that a thing. Now, I am going to send this one off on its own. Can I? I've made a mistake, like quite a bad mistake, one that I didn't think through at all. Oh, that's a very bad mistake. Has it top points to anyone that spots the fact that I don't have decouplers. I don't even have an engineer that can come out and do this either. Jettison tank contents is not what I want. What I would like is if like this aeroshell had a way of doing that, but it turns out no. There's no way of just being like, no, you can't do this. Use the crew fuel as a lifeboat. What I'm going to do is we're just going to fly over there and have a look because these guys are going to earn me $1 million, and then we're going to bring this craft back. I mean, why not, eh? Why not? All right, cool. We're going to do that. We're going to do that right now. We were, but right now I need just to go look at it. I unfortunately have made a little bit of a mistake here. No, that's not the one I want. Made a little bit of an error in my construction, and I did not include a decoupler, which, well, it kind of hurts, you know. 32. You know what? At 32 kilometers, I'm just going to let that happen. Is that what we got here? 38 kilometers. Yeah, we're just going to warp up. We're going to go look at our target. I feel so bad about it. We're gonna go look at our target. We're gonna laugh at me a bit more. If you'd like to laugh at me pretty hard, I fully encourage this, because this was a silly mistake. Okay, I could have impacted quite hard. But anyway, when we go up and get into orbit with the asteroid, we need to hang around there. Game time for. I don't even have a claw on here. We got to bring these guys. I think we got to just bring these guys home. Let's try this again with a much better craft. Do I have the money? I can't revert. We know we can't revert. Okay, all right. These is bad, but but I have definitely faced worse, because I can't actually even latch onto it. This whole mission doth be pretty bad, pretty bad. I forgot that I needed a claw. I mean, in good news, this means we are going to get closer to the Moho landing, which I believe a couple of you are specifically here for. Add a maneuver here. Let's see if we can bring ourselves down as close to on top of the KSC as possible. I would like to get my maximum return from this, because this was an expensive mission that I'm not going to get any money back from. Which is a kind of annoying, because I did this mission to earn money. Is that the best I'm going to be able to do? Can I focus on Kerbal? How did we focus on Minmus? Okay, that's good work. That's good work. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just like mission planning in my head now, trying to figure out how we can get these guys home, make the most amount of money from that particular movement. Actually, that probably could have done with that, right? We add the maneuver, we bring that down as far as possible, but also try and slow ourselves down. That's not slowing down. What's going on here? Let's try that again. Add a maneuver, slow down to capture. Nom. Okay, great. Pull that down somewhat equatorial. Too much stuff going on. Hang about. Let's just turn all of these off. Something like that. Okay, great. Now we can see what's going on. Periapsis is too high. Okay, now my question is, if we drag this back, are we gonna find... No, it doesn't look like we are. Somewhere where this makes more sense. Ooh, somewhere like that? Can I bring it down? No, not without... I mean, that's close. I mean, we could possibly try and land at the desert. Do we just want to try that? I mean, the desert's not an easy place to hit. The desert launch site, sorry. I got to try and land it in the facility if we want to come home and get money, right? But that looks pretty good to me. It needs to go up a little bit more and in a little bit more. Oh, too far. That one? Ooh, a little over. Of course, we will be able to trim when we're in the air. Like that one. That one right there. Okay, let's do this. I want to point in the right direction. We're not going to get the money. There's no way I'm going to put this down at the desert. But who am I if not someone who tries, right? Who am I if not someone who tries? I'm more than willing to give this a go. I've got enough parachutes to bring this whole thing down if need be. No, if need be. Just enough money to bring this whole thing down. Enough parachutes, not money. Money is my big concern at this point. We took this mission because it would earn us some cash. But now we've discovered it's a bigger problem that it's defunct. Okay, go. Nothing but costing us. Okay, 56. I'm going to bring this down to like 10, and then I'm going to go, because we've got about a minute's worth of burn. 8, 7, go. Oh, or not. Oh, I'm out of fuel. Low. Now we go? Okay, not ideal. I mean, we've had better missions. It's got to be said. Definitely had a better way of getting down and in. But I think this should be recoverable. I just, as long as we got enough money afterwards to recover it. If not, I'm gonna have to go do some really rubbish like mini missions, right? Like, bring a tourist over this location and stuff like that until I can get enough money together to launch this one again. Which would... Oh, that would suck. I would not be impressed with myself if that's where we're at. Probably the mission with the highest consequence I think I've ever done. I've never been on such a high-stakes failure. Which is kind of hilarious. If this is the point where my career mode fails, that would be amazing. We are supposed to be kamikazing into asteroids. Things went a little bit wrong for the mission, though. We couldn't undock the thing that was supposed to do the kamikaze. That was the actual problem. But even then, the backup mission couldn't work either because we had not allowed for a claw. Which was silly, because that's why I wanted the interstage nodes. I spent ages trying to set up to be able to use the claw, and then forgot to put it on there. That's top grade NASA flight, right? Top grade. I mean, this feels about right. Does this look about right? Feels about right. Let's go back to the Kerbal. Yeah, I mean... We might slow down faster than anticipated. We might not. Goes a little bit further just in case. All right, we're just gonna have to see how this goes. The dart debris is gonna have to be a thing we bring home one day. Why is engine number 3 burning quicker than engine? Why is this? Huh? Trying to figure out where we're even like getting that fuel from. Like, what? Okay, we're gonna look backwards. Do I just push my parachutes now, just in case? Like, just in case. I'm very tempted, but I think we're okay for the moment. Let's try and orientate ourselves. We're coming in hot. We're coming in very hot. Oh, no control by our probe core. Okay, this might actually be bad. I would really have liked to have turned... Okay, so... Kerbals cannot help whilst in this particular status. Oh, we got explosions. Hopefully that ore canister is going to explode first. We got some G limits, but that's fine. I think we're in a bit of trouble now, guys. Like, career mode-wise. I'm really tempted to crash my game. Because we've not saved yet. Oh no, what happened? Oh, is this going to take longer than I thought it would? Oh dear, so something bad happened to my game. It's only because of the tourists. I can't lose those tourists. Those tourists are my money for the next thing here. Thank you for your Fs. I appreciate, man. Actual embarrassment here. Go on, Kerbal. Come back to me. Come back to me. make sure there's nothing running in the background that shouldn't be. All right, cool. It's like synchronizing Steam Cloud. Nothing changed. Don't worry, Steam. Just keep going. Whilst we're here, look how close that one was getting. Oh. And then this one's even closer. I like this one because it's the first point where we're really starting to get some proper details. Starting to wonder, like, where did these boulders come from? If they're just kind of embedded in this loose material, where did the loose material come from? So if we go back to... Where's the other picture? Not that one. I want to go to this one here. So what they think has happened... Where's my red square? I need to get a red square. What they think has happened is that this big asteroid here has been lit unevenly by the sun, right? So one side has got warmer than the other, and it's radiated away a bunch of heat, and those photons leaving have started to spin this one. Can I get hold of that one? It turns out I can't. Spin this one faster and faster and faster and faster, right? Come on, Steam, what are you doing? And whilst that has been sped up, been speeding up and up and up, Sorry, I'm just double checking what's going on. Let's play anyway, thank you. They think the little moon was spun off of it. Like, just, you know how, like, if you're spinning around really fast in your chair and you put your arms out, you can feel it pulling on your arms, pulling away. If you don't know that, I highly recommend it. Be careful, though. You can fall over doing that sort of stuff. I do quite often. And they reckon that tiny moon might have been just a thing that got ripped out from that gravitational spin, which, you know, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Kind of like how our moon got formed. Do you guys know how the current theory for how our moon got formed? So back when Earth was hot, like very hot, like, you know, it only just coalesced from a bunch of asteroids smashing into each other. And along came a planet about the size of Mars. What did they call it? I can't remember what they called it. But you can spin it on your chair right now. Great choice. Anyway, so the hot Earth was sat there minding its own business, and this Mars-sized planet comes and smacks it on the side. Boom! And as you can imagine, when two really hot planets smash into each other, out spins a whole bunch of like molten hot rock, right? And there's been some really good computer simulations, good modeling of how that can then spin off a moon, or the moon rather than a moon, our moon, you know. And that's, yeah, I think that's really cool. Like, but that should have vaporized all the water, right? If you think about it, like, if two big bits of rock hit each other very, very fast, then a lot of energy. Oh, I only got 48 grand. That's exactly why we need to bring this guy back. That's because I turned everything off. I was like, where's all my ships? Is this the one we want? Nope. Is that the one we want? That. There we go. That's the one we want. Okay, how are we going to bring this guy back safely? I think it's going to take some finagling. I think it's going to take a couple of passes, and I think I'm going to actually bring back the tank that we're still attached to. Yeah, this one here. So if I was to go, no, I don't want to do that, and no, I would like this in its own separate... Okay, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these side engines on. Which, I know it's crazy. What am I doing here? But that's so that I can come down. Let's target this equatorial ship that I have just kind of kicking around here. That is so that I can figure out where my best place for trying to change my orbit is. So I line up both the green line to overlap with each other and the blue line to overlap with each other, and then this crossing point here, add maneuver, because of the wonders of perspective are the point where they actually cross over. And then I want to pull this up to something close to equatorial, whilst also not getting too ridiculously over see this maneuver over here? I want to get rid of it. Okay. This one here is the... Oh, it's changed. Let's try that again, shall we? Line up the yellow. Line up the blue. At this point here, where suddenly there's a whole bunch of information, because it's the point where everything crosses, we should be able to do that. Okay. Bring it to close to equatorial. Slow us down. Close to equatorial. And right, there we are. This should now be able to get us directly to the Kerbal Space Center if I play mon cards correctly. Which is almost entirely just now through doing this. That was a little too far. Oh, look at that first drop down there. Bring it in, bring it in. Oh man, that's tough. I'm not going to be able to do it first pass. Okay, I wasn't... Why not? It's a 7 meter... 7... Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Maybe not. So what I've just noticed here is my periapsis at 7 kilometers. We are not going to survive that. So I need to just bleed speed off slowly. 62 is a little too much. 59. Let's try 57. And then I should, from that, be able to orientate myself. Also going to take a quick save. To slow down at the right place at the right time, right? Yeah, let's try this one. This one should be a little gentler. And we bring our space junk back, which is much better. So whilst you're spinning around on your chairs, do you want a demonstration of angular momentum? Start by spinning with your arms outwards. Stick your legs out as well if you can. And then whilst you're turning, pull it all into you. You've got to be spinning first with your arms and legs sticking outwards, and then curl up in a little ball, and you will just start spinning faster. Be careful. Be careful. You can end up falling over at this point. But it's really cool. It's really cool. And that one little observation there is how you can find out things like where the solid and liquid core of a planet are. You end up flying a spacecraft really close to the planet, and you do a whole bunch of stuff with angular momentum, and you make some assumptions. You'd be like, all right, the solid core is much more dense than the liquid core, which is much more dense than the rock, right? Yeah. Which, are fair assumptions. I think we could all say they're fair assumptions. Iron is definitely more dense than silica and stuff like that. Oh, and that one over there. I was like, wait, what? But no, that's not me. This one over here is me. 12, 11, 10. I'm going to go at 5, I think, this time. 5. Okay, nice. This is a long burn, though. This is a long burn. A long burn that I wish I could look at the... that I had the ability to click the one that lived here. This is the focus on this blue dot. Autopilot, if you will. And it turns out I should have started way before 10 seconds. But here we are. We're just going to live the life that we find ourselves in. Is this going to be perfect? I don't know about perfect. I think we are going to be pretty close, though. I think we're going to be pretty close. Trying to spend all of our fuel to bring this up to here is probably the... I mean, that is by far the biggest outlay of fuel. But it does mean that at any point we can slow down the right amount and get back to the Kerbal Space Center, right? And we do seem to be burning the correct amount of fuel. That's good. Last time we definitely burnt more fuel on one side than the other, and I wasn't sure what was up with that. if I was to be honest. I don't know why that happened. No, we can't turn this craft like this. I want to try and like finagle it into perfect alignment, but that's just not going to happen. We're just going to go with the best that we can get, right? Oh man, looking at the amount of fuel here and the amount of fuel here, we're going to be very close. I don't like... Hey, Super Gary Gamer, how are you doing? Welcome to the part of the stream where we realise everything has gone wrong and we're trying to fix it. But, hey, I know you were really enjoying the Dart mission yesterday. How did you feel like it went? How did you feel like it went? I was talking to a lot of my... Oh, man, look at this. This is terrible. I was talking to a lot of my physics friends in Discord, and a lot of them couldn't see the point. I didn't know why we were doing this. To which obviously I'm like, what do you mean you don't know why we're doing it? Of course it's to try and stop asteroids hitting us, right? And they're like, but we know what conservation of momentum does. But we didn't know how like the surface of the asteroid would act with us, right? If we hit an asteroid and it... Where is that fuel? Where's that little bit of fuel? Ah, it's at the top. Okay, we're definitely saving that. But it was like, well, that's it. Like, what could go wrong? And I will tell you what could go wrong. So say that you hit a bunch of rocks on the surface and most of them just fly sideways, right? You've put energy into those rocks going sideways, but the asteroid didn't slow down because the rock disappeared, right? And so we need to know like what the deal with that is, how good or bad that particular situation is. This is terrible. What we've got going here is just so bad. We're coming home, but we're not gonna... I mean, we've got a quick save, so it ain't no problem. And we're definitely deep enough to be getting drag, but we were supposed to be going to the KSC. I don't think that's going to happen this time. I think we'll be lucky to get anything other than just... Oh, wait, no. Just coming home. Can you please do the map? Thank you. I'm going to pop my parachutes this time. Why? So, hey, this is the problem with the mission as it stands at the moment. I didn't put any decouplers in between my impactors and my truss. So we're bringing them home. The mainsail does indeed have 5 ISP, hence this thing here. Look at that, mainsail. But we wanted this to make the stack shorter. There were reasons. Also, I believe my main number one reason was, hey, we always use the mainsail. Let's try something else. It was also the same reason with why I use these solar panels rather than these solar panels, these studs. Put a bunch of liquid boosters on the side of hard points. I'm not slowing down enough, am I? Okay, let's look normal and see if we can get more drag on our mission here. You know what? I think I'm just bringing us home. I'm gonna stop this. I'm just gonna slow us down, and then I'm gonna slow us down on the other side, and then we're gonna come home and we're gonna use that mission because that was not gonna work. That was not gonna work, unfortunately. Every type of finagling we've done to try and earn some money out of this mess that I'm calling a mission here has not worked. It's not worked at all. So what we're gonna do is what is this? So what we're gonna do instead is just slow us down. Just bring us in. It would be nice if we didn't turn quite so much, but I'm going to put my periaps just inside the atmosphere, and then when we get around the other side, I'm going to just slow down until we're inside the atmosphere, and then I'm going until all of the orbit is inside the atmosphere, and we're just going to see if we can bring people home without killing them, because so far 2 out of 2 efforts have ended badly. So hopefully we have a little bit more money just to launch. I can't remember whether I allowed myself to go into the negatives or not. That's a thing you can set up at the beginning of the game. Maybe in the game... what's the word I'm looking for? Settings... Difficulty options. Maybe it's in the difficulty options. We'll go and have a look at it a little bit. It's not been a thing I normally need to use, obviously. But we've had a series of hilarious mission outcomes. Yeah, I'm just going to look that way, and we're going to walk around here. Plus, we've got a couple of missions out. I think, if I'm to be honest with you, I think this next few weeks we're about to witness a whole variety of fails. I don't think our Moho graft can stop. I don't think persistent rotation is working. No, it's not. Look, I'm looking the wrong way. Oh, wait, we discovered this last time. Where's persistent rotation gone? We've not had a game update. Oh. Alright, well, I will fix that by next time. I kind of like persistent rotation. It's one of those awkward game mechanics that I feel like needs to be implemented in the actual game as well. Okay, we're coming round... I mean, do I even care about where I burn, or is, like, here good enough? I think here might be good enough. What's going on here? What are you doing? I feel like the game is confused. I feel like because we got our engines above the center of mass or something silly like that, it's trying to fight the SAS with the engines. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like that's what's happening. It'd be nice to land over there, wouldn't it? We can definitely try, but I feel like we're going to burn all our fuel out. I mean, what do we call these weeks? Few weeks of fail. I mean, that's a good name, right? I feel like I also want to be looking just a little more over this way. Why is this so hard to control? Alright, whatever. We'll just look retrograde. I was going to try and do some, like, fine controls to bring us down a little bit more, but you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to slow us down with as much of the fuel as we've got. And every time we come back round, I'm going to slow us down a little bit more. Turns out this time with my kinetic impactor fuel. What do you reckon? Have these actually got any fuel in them? If I drag this down... Whoa, wrong scroll. And drag this down. And then drag this down. No, they don't. Alright, we burn all their fuel out as well. I was really hoping we'd slow down more than this. Alright, AMA about any space mission that you know about right now. Like, did you know that the impactor mission yesterday also had a little CubeSat that was involved with it? LICIA. Yeah, it had a lot of acronym to it anyway. It was an Italian CubeSat that was sent along to take pictures of the impact and measure stuff. Hey, welcome back. We've not had any of the data back from that yet. I mean, let's not count them out though, because they were definitely going to do a thing. They're definitely going to get the information and send it back. What I really wanted to know, and unfortunately none of the streams would ask my question yesterday, and I was really trying to find out. You might have heard me many times go on about how different things have different colours. It's the most amazing thing about science. You shine light on something, and the light that reflects back is all dependent on the atomic structure of the molecule and stuff like that, which means literally everything has a different colour. There are things that overlap, but you then work out the other colours. So I wanted to know whether anyone was doing any spectroscopy on that, you know? Because I want to know what's inside that rock. Let's not do that. Let's turn that off. Let's go, hey, warp here. I'm going to slow ourselves down with the RCS. So, like, ever since I found out about spectral data, which, you know, was a few years ago now, it's actually quite an important part of everything. Like, oh my god, it's amazing how important that is. It was one of the reasons we could tell that the world was quantum, because why would things have these specific energy levels and specific colors and stuff like that? Anyway, wait, I had a point when I said anyway, and now I can't remember what it was. I'm just gonna have a cup of tea. We're going to try and turn ourselves around and slow ourselves down. What I'm really hoping that you guys, because you guys are like fairly enthusiastic space nerds, right? I can call you a space nerd, right? You guys are happy with that, yeah? Is what ESA mission or any mission, ISRO or JAXA or even the Russian ones, though I don't know how to find out about that. Would you like to know more information about? I think this is because, like, NASA do a very good job of letting people know what they're doing. Ever since the moon mission, they've realised that getting the people involved gets you more tax money, right? That's just, it's almost a truism at this point, yeah. But the European Space Agency, they're not quite so hot on that. Mainly because, you know, every time they have to try and produce something, they have to make it in like 7 or 8 different languages, right? I don't know much about what's going on with the Chinese Space Agency. I don't even know how to find out what's going on with the Chinese Space Agency. Just every now and then, a little ping comes up about one of the other space YouTubers telling me about it. And I was like, well, I mean, that's great, but I would have liked to have found out myself, you know? And I don't speak Hindi very well. I don't speak Hindi at all. Let's drop that very well. So I don't know how to get the Indian space agency's information. Though I say that, they are much more forthcoming than any of the other space agencies. It's just in a language that I don't read. So that's a thing. And we're in the atmosphere. That's the word I was looking for. I was like, orbit is not the word I'm looking for. What am I doing? We are in the atmosphere. This should now hopefully be enough, like with our periapsis deep enough at 56 kilometers to slow us down the appropriate amount. Already my parachutes are popped just in case, because whilst we are going through things, trying to show ISRO launch clip in a video. I heard that's great for the algorithm. Yeah. The problem with the ISRO launches is they are very copyright heavy. They're like, no, it's our rocket. How dare you show this picture? And I don't know if anybody unofficial is taking pictures. You know, so they actually have the copyright on all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, honestly, things like copyright, patents, and science just don't mix very well. Now, let's not mix up science and technology here. You know, science is the discovery of the universal laws around us, and technology is the using of those things through various means. I was going to say mechanical means, but we all know that's not mechanical. Oh, there we go. I'm out of fuel. Or whatever happens, I am now coming back under this guy's power. I am going to once again do this. I feel like this is a better option at the moment. Ready to click retrograde as and when I feel like the heat is getting a bit much. Watching my numbers here, I want this apoapsis to drop below 70 before I'm a happy bunny. Once that happens, we are definitely just coming back. So, the DART mission, this guy, 7 miles a second, 14,000 miles per hour, they said, but honestly, that doesn't work out maths-wise in my head. Because it's 3,600 seconds in an hour. So you times the per second by 3,600. It doesn't give you that number. Anyway. And that is the final picture they took. Look at this. Look at this. Can you even take a picture of your ground this sharp, let alone when you're running towards it at 7 miles a second? I cannot get over how sharp and clear this particular picture is. This is there was one frame after this, but all you got was the top section of the picture. Literally top. I don't know, 100 lines or so. I don't know. This is 300, 400 pixels down. So yeah, crazy. You see a face? Wait, where's the face? I don't. I'm afraid I don't. They reckon that these boulders here are roughly where it hit, somewhere in amongst this lot. And this one, I think someone measured it to be 2 meters. I might be wrong. Down and left from the big central rock, a bit lower down. I mean, maybe this guy, maybe not. But so one of the things people were looking at on this. Can I make this big picture? I can make this a bigger picture. There's not much sand there, right? There's not much going on. It's not been super pulverized. It is still boulders and stuff. So how did it form if it didn't smash into itself? Those are questions. I think we're coming home. Where are we going to land, though? It reckons over. No, it's moving. I mean, if I now turn this way, does that movement stop? I can't do anything. The T. That's what I want. Will that start to slow down? That drift, yo. That drift. I mean, we are still going up into orbit at least once. I might just leave it normal. Who cares at the moment? Who cares? Just trying to bring these guys home. This is the problem when missions go wrong, is things can take a while to fix. And I don't even know if I've got the money to launch this mission again, which is probably the bit that I'm most sad about. I'm going to just quickly hit settings, options, hire members, maybe it's in here, allow negative... Accept. Okay, we're just going to turn that on. Because I personally have never been in negative numbers before. I've never needed to go into negative numbers before. But this time, I feel like we're going to need to go into negative numbers. This mission costs 150 roots, something like that. 150 million roots, sorry. 1,000. Got it. Man, there's lots of jokes about how astrophysicists don't really care about, the magnitude of numbers, because 14,000, 140,000. What's the difference, really? But in certain situations, it does matter, and I'm very bad at it. Very toasty in that atmosphere of Kerbin. Could even toast your toast. It should actually be very hot in the atmosphere of Kerbin. Think about how much closer to the sun we are. No, that's not true. Don't. The reason that it's not true is we've got some radiation coming from the sun, right? It waves up and down. Woo, 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 woo. And you might remember me saying that everything has a color. Well, that means that also everything will only absorb certain colors. That's just far too general, but I'm going to go into it like that. And the colors coming from the sun are the wrong color to be absorbed by the atmosphere. That's why we evolved to look in the colors that we did, is because these colors pass through the light, pass through the air, sorry. But the side effect that means that the air doesn't get warmed up from the wave of the light. It's the reflected light. It hits the surface and then bounces back as heat. Carbon dioxide and water grab onto that, and boom, you got yourself a greenhouse effect, which incidentally we need if we didn't have the greenhouse effect here, we'd be several degrees colder, tens of degrees colder than we actually are, to the point where the water cycle wouldn't work properly and a whole bunch of things. So if we didn't have some carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, things would be very, very bad. The problem is the amount of carbon dioxide that we're producing at the moment is more than would naturally be sucked back up by the rocks. Did you guys know it was by the rocks? I didn't know it was by the rocks. Like, obviously, you got animals and trees breathing the carbon dioxide, falling over and dying and getting buried, right? That's one of the way the carbon dioxide gets taken out of the atmosphere. But that is not a very good way. Like, a lot of the animals decompose, let their carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere, let alone like things eating them and stuff like that. But yeah, so you've got like the Himalayas being thrust up, and you've got volcanoes cracking off, and all of these will absorb some of the carbon dioxide, like the carbonic acid, and change it up into limestone, stuff like that, and that's actually where most of the carbon gets eaten. And I'm just going to pull some numbers out of my head right here. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I know it's something like 10 to the 17 million tons is eaten, and we've just gone 10 to the 18, right? It was something, those are not the exact numbers, but it's something like that. We've just started releasing one order of magnitude more than the planet can absorb, and that's why everyone's like, ooh, might be a bit of a problem now. Mark, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Sorry for missing the stream. That's cool. Schools and illness have been giving you a hard time. Yeah, don't worry about it, my friend. Don't worry about it. How has my day been? My first day of university today. Well, no, I mean first day of year 2 of university today. And even then, it was just like, here are your tutors. You remember from last year, right? And that was pretty much it. If you're having mental problems, talk to these guys. One of the good things. I mean, I'm sure all of you are aware that university can be a very stressful time for almost everybody involved, right? And just about every step along the way, they're all like, "You should talk to people," which is good. You should. Like, even the problem is, and I tried to articulate this earlier. Like, I'm a grown ass man now, right? I've been through a lot of mental health crises, and almost always when it starts, you don't realize, you have no idea. You're just feeling a bit, and yeah, telling people to talk to their friends is great, but unless you know that it's going down, and that's why you should always open up to your mates and be like, "Hey, what's going on, man? You good?" I feel like this is important. So everybody in the stream, you good right now? How's it going? I mean, my life's starting to get stressful, but I am prepared for the amount of stress that is coming my way. I think. I don't know if I was last year. I thought I was prepared last year. One of the best things about the introduction that we had this day was everyone was like, this is probably one of the hardest years. Last year was pretty much revision. Year 2 is the first year where you start doing like the proper hard science. But then by year 3 you're used to it, right? So this is probably the point where you're like, gonna have a bit of a scream. You're doing good, Phil Magford. Good. I'm all about that. All about that. Though I say, like, I have had some people come to the streams before and try and use this place as therapy. And, like, we can talk about stuff, right? But we are all just a bunch of idiots on the internet. Right? I know I'm an idiot on the internet, and I think Landstrider will agree. We're not the type of people that can give serious help. The only thing we can do is advise you to go speak to people who can. There we go. They got a little serious. Let's have a look at how our asteroid's doing right now. Not our asteroid, our rocket is doing right now. It's doing pretty well. I see some heating going on over there, but more importantly, I see the fact that our periapsis is ahead of us and going down. We are currently at 0 dropping altitude. That's a little bit weird. We're not slowing down too much anymore. Do we just do this again? I feel like this is how we die. Just try and induce a little bit more drag. I mean, the fact that the engine... You know what? No, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Because the engine is designed to take heat, right? I mean, it's not really designed to take that sort of engine heat. No, it's designed to take engine heat, not that sort of atmosphere heat. What is going on with the turn here? I asked it to turn and turn back, and now we got... Have I made a terrible mistake? I may have made a terrible mistake. I think we're okay. I'm seeing engine overheats come in, but that's good. As long as we can end up pointing generally backwards at some point. Oh, I'm scared, guys. I'm scared. I didn't want... Oh, look, it's that huge river. We should do a river challenge or something at some point. Like, who out there actually has the game? I know a lot of people watch me because they don't have the game. We should do things like a rally around Kerbin or something like that, right? Set up some waypoints, share the waypoints. You're doing a river challenge? I'm all about the river challenges. Flying from here to the sea as quick as possible. A speedboat challenge. What a great... Yeah, I'm down for that. Do you guys know... I don't know whether this is like just with the DLC or what, but you've got this cove launch at the top here. I reckon driving from the cove to the island airfield would probably be a good speedboat challenge. Or submarine challenge, both. Speedboat. I mean, the speedboats are going to win every time. Submarines are... This game is not built for honestly, submarines are not built for being submarines, right? Like, I was watching something a little while ago, and this dude was trying to build what I'm essentially going to say is a dolphin-inspired submarine. Right, if you think about all the submarines of old, you know, U-boats or the research subs or stuff like that, they're basically boxes with some fans stuck on the outside, and they try and throw water behind them, right? And they've got the big flat faces. Even like the military subs seem to not be as pointy as they should be, you know, stuff like this. And we know why. It's because pointy things get crushed easily underwater, right? But it means they're not very... I was about to use aerodynamic. No, they're not very hydrodynamic, right? So this one guy was like, man, have you seen fish? Do you know what dolphins swim like? And so he started trying to make a dolphin / fish-inspired submarine. Now, it was only a small one-person thing. He could jump out of the water. It was pretty cool. It was really cool. But I have a feeling it's not very good at the depth. So yeah, in short, submarines, they're not very good, are they? It's amazing how like we've got these different layers to the living space. Yeah, we got the air. I mean, we could even start out a vacuum, really. That's like really thin, and then you get to the air, which is kind of thin, and then the water, which is a bit more thick, right? You can tell that we're not really built for it because, like, we can walk faster than people swim. Yeah. Are there things that there are things that live in the ground? Things like worms, right? You know, and are they even slower? I mean, they've got to eat their way through the ground. Are there things that just swim through the ground like a fish swims through the water? Have we got the bakery too yet? We've not, actually. That's a good shout, Mark. We've actually not. We should address that after this. This random stream of just talking rubbish because I messed up my mission. So remember, if you like talking rubbish, give a thumbs up. If you'd like to talk about anything more specific, hey, just mention it in the chat and I will transition smooth like. Toast your toast. I mean, honestly, how long would it take? Say you had a little hatch on the side, right, and you could stick some bread on a fork and stick it out the window and not lose your arm. How long would it take for that toast to become toast? Like, I don't know. Re-entry plasma heat. Let's try it. Re-entry plasma temperature. Let's see what we've got. What are the top two? Ooh, someone's given us a nice space shuttle thermal protection thing. 1,500 degrees C. Okay, that's cool. That's the boundary layer. The outside temperature, 5,500. Woo! That's hot. Yeah, I'll go with that. 300 nanoseconds sounds about right. Well, 5,000 degrees. I mean, I suppose plasma, right? Plasma, yeah. I mean, that's hot. That's not center of the sun hot, but that's still pretty hot. Sorry, now I'm like center. This is actually something that I should know. Center of the sun temperature. Yeah, 15,000 K. 15 million K. Sorry. Yeah, I was fairly sure it wasn't quite anywhere near that. So you got to add, say, 4 zeros for this to be sun-like. We're definitely coming home though. We are below the temperature where I was expecting to explode and die. So, how toasted does toast have to be to count as toasted? I think we definitely need the color, right? I think that's an important thing. You've worked up to 1500 F. Okay, that's cool. Wow, that's almost 15 million Celsius. I always love the Celsius Kelvin relate, because like they're like 300 degrees off from each other, 260 something degrees off of each other, 63. So when you start getting up to millions or thousands, centigrade is just Kelvin, right? You just ignore the difference. It was one of my favorite quotes that I found out this month. The difference between a million and a billion is about a billion. You know, like, and it's the same sort of thing. The aluminium foundry operator, yeah, cool, dude, that's awesome. So, as far as I'm aware, and maybe you can correct me on this, aluminium's all electrolysis, right? You know, they put a big current through it and snatch it. 800 degrees for anybody wondering. 1500 F. Yeah, minus 40 degrees is a great temperature. Almost everything crosses over at minus 40. Oh, don't worry. No, it's me who talks all sciencey, right? I encourage it. Induction is how they heat it. Yeah. Because it used to be, and I'm just going to quote stuff off the internet here, right? This is not things that I know personally, but it used to be that aluminium was one of the hardest metals to actually get out of its ore. It's not. It kind of is. Just put some heat into it and out it drops. But it's. Does it oxidize more quickly than iron or something? There was a problem anyway that made blast furnaces not really the ideal situation for getting aluminium out. And thus, it's only recently that aluminium has become so cheap that we could just like make disposable cans out of it. Oh, hit the bottom. Sorry. Need to get gamer milk and gamer bars. Be right back, epic dudes. You be an epic dude. I mean, I'm enjoying a cup of tea right now. I haven't the slightest idea what all this means. Oh no, that's a shame. I mean, if you don't know, just ask. We will. Almost anybody who's talking about something will happily drill down further and further and further to try and find the bit that you will understand, right? And then build back up from there. I don't like what's going on here at all. Guys, why? That's why. Pro controller stopped. How are you guys feeling about this? If we could get down to 15, I'd be happier. Oh, bad noises. I think we're good. I think we're going to be fine. It's not great, but I think we're actually okay. 16, 50. Yeah. All right, we're at the point where I feel mostly safe. What I am worried about now is the fact that we might very well end up nosediving, and that is possibly the worst we could do. I need to like keep my nose up, but we have no control right now. Look, probe core, no. So unless I can do something to nose up at some point, we might even just be in trouble. Okay, cool. Radio out, if you could, please. please. I don't even know if that's good enough, but we'll try it. Parachutes are popped, so there's not much we can... Ooh, look at that river over there. That's great. So yeah, aluminium, the stuff we make cans out of, is amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. I feel like this maneuver would have ripped everything apart. Like, if this was real world materials, nobody lives here. Like, these are bad times. But it might be good now. What is going on with this? There we go. All right, I was worried. As long as we can now get below 250. Please. Any moment now. Rage it out. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna have to go when risky. Okay, I've turned those up to slow us down. Ooh. You know, guys, sometimes I feel like this game doesn't like me. There's not much we can do here either. Hope for a good litho break. Tourists. So, I think we're going to leave these guys in orbit for a little while. Let's go and do something else. I feel like we need to go and do something else. I'm just going to leave all of their maneuvers and everything else just set up here. I mean, I'm not going to leave the maneuvers, but I'm just going to leave everything just set up here. We'll come back to this next week. Let's go see how we can earn some money. Let's go to Space Center. I feel broken by this mission. I actually sat here sweating trying to figure out what we're going to do about it. The thing is that was very nearly good if we had just split the... if we just split the drag, you know? Alright, bring 2 tourists over a site. Where do we need to go? The Northern Mountains, suborbital 700. 4 tourists? K2, isn't that just behind us? Everything because of a test. You got it. Let's go and double check where this one is. Bring 3 tourists to low Kerbal orbit. We could do that. Is it worth more money? No, it's not worth more money than this. Let's go have a look. If we go and look at the tracking station. Somewhere on here is the K2 mission. This one? Location, K2. Alright, so we would need to have a suborbital trajectory going over to that. Now, I believe... Yeah, I remember, buddy. I believe we could literally just fly a rocket over there. Oh, hello. Let's have a look. Why is that zeros? Oh my gosh. So yeah, all we need is suborbital. So if we just fly over there and then bring ourselves back, that should go. Let's try it. 48k. We should be able to do a fairly decent mission for 48k. We're not even going that far, right? Oh, excuse me. 3. You know what? I don't even know that I want that. I do have another pilot, yeah. Let's find out though. Yeah, I got other pilots. That's all good. That's not the problem. Okay, so we need to figure out how we're going to put 4 tourists in here. That's got room for 4, but not for also my pilot. That's kind of important to have room for the pilot as well. I can't get rid of that now. All right, fine. Be like that. This is a Mark... You know what? I've not built with that yet because we're not ready for it. Mark II cockpit, maybe. Your internet went bad. Oh, no. No, that's not the one I wanted. That one is the one I wanted. Okay, so we're gonna take this, and we're gonna take a full crew. Is it gonna be a full crew? It's gonna be this many crew anyway. And then we're gonna put a heat shield on the bottom. Look at me be suddenly very protective of my Kerbals, like that. All right, cool. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, mate. Unfortunately, protective services decide themselves what is important and not. You know, I've had friends who have had bad run-ins with them. Okay, parachute and capsule. Is there anything else we need to be able to bring tourists home? I think this should be safe now, right? That's just a tourist. I can spell tour already. Tourist sub orb burp. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna put a little bit of an engine on the underside of this. I don't think we need too much, right? I don't think we need too much. One of these, one of those. I mean, mainsail is the engine, right? But the reason that I would say no is because we're going to be suborbital. How about the Bobcat? Doesn't look like the right size. You know what I'm saying? Even like that, it doesn't look great. Cheetah, same issues, same issue. You know what? Let's do it. Mainsail. Oh, skiff. 330. Where are you? 310. All right, we'll take the skiff. It's got better ISP up in orbit. Okay, there we go. That's all I wanted here. Why have I put? What, in case it explodes? Do we leave it there in case it explodes? I'm going to leave it there in case it explodes. All right, so, I mean, that is pretty much all we need for this section here. 3.7, 2.5. And then we just need to put, I mean, literally put a Mark II control underneath so we can save this stuff, because we're just going suborbital, which means we can save all of this. Every single bit of it should be recoverable. And then this will be the mainsail. I mean, that's already overboard, right? Are we agreed that that's already overboard? What about if I just do this? Is that going to be good enough? I'm going to put some fins on it just to make sure. Just put a kickback on the bottom of the plane. I mean, that's the thing. What does the I in ISP stand for? That's a question. ISP acronym. Let's find out. Oh man. I don't think that's right. Iconospecies is not. Do I just put rocket in there? Let's try. Because it's specific impulse, right? But what's the I? Oh, I see. So it's impulse I specific SP. So it's big I small SP. Can I put that down here? No, it doesn't show. Yeah, so it's actually a physics thing, because we're very big in writing a letter, and then we have to make a little subscript to say what we're actually on about, rather than just the generic thing. And you are right, this can go to the moon. Is that's good enough? Do we think that's good enough? It's not going to orbit, but I don't want it to go to orbit. I just want it to go north a bit. Should we try it? I think we're going to try it. I'm definitely going to try it. It's giving us $250,000 as well, so, I mean, I'm down. So that's the hitchhiker. And we'll take a pilot. And I'm going to take an engineer. Pause as well. Whenever you watch a planet size... So the planet size comparison is always good because it goes further, right? Like, when you get to Jupiter... Beyond Jupiter, there's brown dwarfs, and then you get into stars, and it's so big. I got into I suppose they had 360. You never know. 260. I think that's the atmospheric drag, right? There's less drag at the top than there is down below. Super Gary Gamer says more probably impulse specific. Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, I need to go boop. Click that, activate navigation. What's this one? Lands landing. Oh wait, is that me? Did I write that? I might have written that. Okay. It's north with a little bit of east. We can do this. I mean, do I even need to like fully throttle? I don't think I do. 3, 2. Quick save. It's not the point to quick save, but let's go! North, a little bit of east. I just need to get over. Okay, like that. No, that was actually too far over too quickly. I need to get up enough speed to be able to start booting this up and over. Probably should have gone up a bit more. You're not a science engineer, but I know a good amount of stuff. I mean, to be fair, before I started going to uni, that's all I had was the amount of stuff that I had picked up over time, right? I will never say that that's not great. You know what? I might just take this off again and go up rather than sideways. As much as I say orbits are sideways, atmosphere is also sideways, so we got to be a little bit careful about that. Let's hit prograde and see what happens. Gonna bring down my throttle a little bit here. Just over 1G, thanks. 65, 66, 67. I'm gonna bring my engine down even more than that. I just want to be not slowing down. That's all I want. Okay, might have needed a little bit more fuel. Or a better trajectory. What do you reckon, guys? Am I going to try a better trajectory or am I going to try more fuel? Which one do you think is going to be the winner in this particular instance? Yeah, no, all right. We need to try the better trajectory. Trajectories. People are saying trajectory. All right, let's try it. Revert to launch, and then we'll try a better thing. Like down equals boom, and T minus is time minus. Yes. I'm not sure what down equals boom. Oh, yes. It's not until you say it properly. You're like, oh, wait, yes, of course. It's like a friend of mine just bought the game, and he was like, I have no idea what I was doing. And literally all I could say was, flamey end down, pointy end up. Like, right, what's just taking off here? There we go. All right, we'll go with that. Activate this navigation. Right, I'm going to go almost directly upwards for quite some time, until about 150, something like that. And then just ever so gently start trying to point myself sideways. I haven't got SAS on. T minus is not the same as L minus. It's true. T minus is a countdown for procedures, whereas L minus is like, hey, we're launching at this time. Which sound very similar, but they're not. Trying to think of a good analogy to say why they're different, but I think just saying it out is right. Okay, I'm feeling some aero drag. Look at this. So let's throttle down a bit. I just want to keep this almost perfect. And a nice line here. I think we might need more fuel. We're doing good, but I don't know if we're doing good enough. Because look how quickly we're burning through the fuel. Okay, and then here, add maneuver. Gotta make sure we fly over the top of that bad boy, right? In fact, let's go to Apple Apps. Oh, does that look right to you? With the planet spin, that should put us roughly in the right place, right? Oh no! Oh no, we don't have enough speed. We're about 100, maybe 200 short. I mean, we're still just gonna try, right? Well, what else do I have to do right now? It's like, no, you can't get any closer than that. I mean, I disagree. I think we can get a lot closer. Should have gone with the double stage, right? Man, you know what? Space is a long way away. I always try to impart upon to people how close space is, but actually sometimes it could be a long way away. All right, 10, 5, 6, 5, 4. Just gonna throttle up at this point. We either make it with the fuel in the tank or we don't. Oh, it does look good, but I've got a feeling we're going to not... Yeah, look, we're definitely going... But all right, revert to vehicle assembly. We're just going to throw that. Throw that other stage on that I was doing right at the beginning of this particular mission. Look at this. We're just going to grab the coupler. I'm gonna revert back to, where are you? You, boop, and skiff. You. The coupler in place. All right. Land of the sun. You know what? I would like to do that at some point. That's something I want to send a probe as close to the sun as possible. Can you tell you what to do in space flight system? I mean, do you have... Can you do like a CRS mission, a resupply of the ISS? I'll tell you guys, my girlfriend bought me a bit of a space blanket off of one of the CRS 65, and a bit off of one of the shuttles. It was possibly one of the coolest presents I've ever received. It was amazing. Activate navigation. Like, actually been to space, guys. Actually been to space. Go! Oh, we actually need to throttle as well. We need to throttle pretty good. This thing is heavy, but not that heavy. I guess I could record that, but it's not going to be until next month because you have some stuff. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, a moon landing's always fun. I assume a moon landing's always fun anyway. Proper Apollo style, right? Something I've not done on Kerbal. I've never seen the point on having that extra bit where you get out and swap the craft around and stuff like that. Ooh, is this right? Is this wrong? You're trying to stay realistic and your space company's not that advanced. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, geostationary then. Do you think Maltesers or Jelly Babies are the superior sweets? Unfortunately, my mum has been on Team Maltesers for a very, very long time. And this has meant that I've always been exposed to Malteser and Malteser way of life. So I am quite fully indoctrinated into that. I'm just going to burn this out like that. All right, great. We're going to take this with us. No, I want to be on surface because that's the atmosphere goes with the surface, right? Don't know what Jelly Babies are. So Jelly Babies are... So you know jelly beans. take the crunchy outside off and just have the gooey stuff in the middle, like the maybe a bit softer than you would find inside a jelly bean, actually. And then make it in the shape of these grotesque little babies. Yeah. The most you can do is get into high Earth orbit. Okay, all right. That's cool. I mean, to be fair, where's the delineation between geostationary and high Earth orbit? You know, is high Earth orbit above geostationary? Add maneuver. Let's go. Got to be above that. Like that? Is that right? That feels right. We're going to the poles. Hype. Oh, you see that red line there? That tells me that's not where I want to be. Something like that. That's the profile I want to fly, I think. We're going to go just up and over the atmosphere, but that's fine. Up and over the limb, I guess we're going to say. I think it's that, but I'm not an orbit expert, so all we can do is watch videos. Yeah. Fair play. Yeah, I mean, a lot of... so I've got this course coming up this year. It's called Synoptic Physics, which I had to look up the word synoptic. It's to do with having a synopsis. You know, it's a summary covering all the things. But for us, it's going to be a bunch of... I don't know, problems, quests, things to do. Like one of them is to plan a mission to Mars. All right. Obviously, you got a whole lot of physics that needs to. Why doesn't my engine go? Oh, you idiot! Stage. I'm bad at this game. Yeah. So by the end of that, I'll have a lot more information. You're doing planning to do ride shares. That's cool. Oh yeah, it sounds like a bunch of CubeSats to read the atmosphere. So that was one of the things. If you go to Google and type in the words DNS, Deep Space Network, DNS now, NOW now, it will show you a little graphic of what the Deep Space Network is. Now, if you guys don't know what the Deep Space Network is, it's essentially the ground stations in Kerbin, right? On Kerbin. It's a bunch of antenna spread around the planet that we use. This is not going to work out well. That we use to talk to various spacecraft. I'm already back in the atmosphere here. What is this? Turns out, never believe the things you read. I'm glad I got a lot of extra fuel here. Try to tell me I'm in the atmosphere already. What is this? Bring this round. Something like that. And then turn around again. Orbit that way. Gotta make sure we're suborbital at the right time. What is this? How are you a probe? Oh wait, I know why you're a probe. It's already gone. I was like, wait, we can save this. Does it class me as suborbital right now? That's my question, because it's not a entering K2. All right, time to slow down. Wait, where's my mission? Okay, we're good. We've done it. That's it. Mission accomplished. Who knew? Well, I mean, let's not count them chickens before they're hatched, right? Let's save a little bit of fuel. We've slowed down a fair amount. Now we've just got to rescue them. Which looks like it'll be a nice long orbit. Okay, I'm about that. I am about that. Let's walk around here. Every time you give your German French jelly babies, they basically go into ecstasy. The Germans are so proud of their Haribo, they forget what's really good. Most Germans don't know Maltesers. Really? Also, Haribo German, is it? I was not aware. I do enjoy a good bit of Haribo, to be honest. Why can't I... Because I've only got one pilot on board who's not very good. I was like, why can't I turn around and press the right things? But no. Okay. Are we going to kill our tourists today? Oh, really hope not. I got 126 Delta V to try and stop that happening. I wish I'd put... Look, we got a little bit of mono... No, we've not got any monoprop. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, here there is, monoprop. I wish I'd put a little thruster on there. We do have, if I look this way... Oh, this is going to be super jank, by the way. We go R and press this button. Right, that's my direction of travel. And we're using this to slow ourselves down. That is right? Let's have a look. Numbers are getting smaller. That's good. In fact, do I want my numbers there getting smaller? I don't know. That's quite a depth already. Quite a depth already. Propulsive landing, if we can. We do have parachute as well. The propulsion is going to help. Yeah, who makes Maltesers? Maltesers a Mars company thing. I think Maltesers... Oh, don't hit the wrong button. I think Maltesers might be Mars. I might be wrong there. Does anybody else have a space company? I mean, I technically have a space company, but I don't think this is the game you're talking about. You know, I hope by the time... And I know this wasn't the question you're asking, but I'm going to go with it anyway. I hope by the time I leave university that, yes, I do have a space company. Right? I don't know what me and my company would do, but I sure hope. It would be things like trajectory planning and stuff, which I know today may not put entirely a bunch of confidence in the ability of mine to actually make a good trajectory. But I would like to do something in space that does that type of thing. You know, maybe into the hardware manufacturing side of it. It's kind of weird that I can't click here. If I do this and go, hey, are you the right person in there? Is it? Are these the right ones? These are the right ones. Okay. I suppose that's fine then. It's weird that they've given me the option to see the markers but not click them. I find that very interesting. So if we press C, you press V to shift all the camera angles. Yeah. Hey, tourists. Nice. What can the tourists see? There's Kerbal. There's Kerbal. They can see stuff. They can see stuff. Oh, that's the best view. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's this tourist getting their money's worth. This one, not so much. Yeah, the view from the cockpit, not so. Oh, there we go. We got some curb in there. All right, that's cool. We're managing to hold roughly the right orientation here. Slowing down. I mean, I am tempted to burn through, but they're seeing too much. Too much. Oh look, the moon. Ooh, there we go. Oh look, the moon. We've got the Earth and the moon at the same time. I like the crescent that we've got going here. I think this is probably one of the things that Kerbal does quite badly is the dark shadows. Now, I know... hello. Mostly that's because I've turned up ambience, but... close the window so they don't see the fire and the plasma. The fire and the plasma is the cool bit, though. Everyone expects fire and plasma. Wow, look at Juno go. Must be the spinning camera because of the South Pole there, right? So as long as we get these guys home safely, we're gonna make ourselves some money. enough money to actually launch the mission that I failed so badly upon today. And then that mission will earn us a lot of money. I might even use the money that we earn from this to... Ooh, let's not overheat. The money that we earn from this to send up an engineering crew to fix the... Oh, no, we can't fix that. We can't. The reason we can't fix that is because the couplers are missing. Yeah, I mean, we could send smaller impactors in. So can anyone think of a name for today's stream that I will change at the end so it sums up the whole of today's episodes? I feel like we have failed at the impactor mission, and I shouldn't really call it that because that's going to be next week's name, right? Two failures and a tourism. Trial by plasma. I don't know. Let's hear what you guys have got. There's bound to be a good name out there, like a great name out there. Oh, no. Why are you turning? Why? Was this where I... I'm trying to use my RCS here to get me pointed in the right direction. Thankfully, there's not a great deal of stuff that could be set on fire out the back, but out on the outside. Sorry, out the back. What am I on about? I do not want to be pointed face first. Look at the amount of monoprop I've got. I should probably start thinking about saving it. I do not want to be facing face first when it comes to it, you know, because that is grade A how you end up burning, hitting the floor too hard. A series of unfortunate... I think you might have nailed it with that one, actually. Kessler. We're not at Kessler syndrome yet. I actually am expecting that to happen at some point with all of the debris that we have. So I'm purposefully making this oscillate back and forth. I do not want my nose to be a permanent fixture at the front of the craft or at the direction of travel. So you can watch me start messing around over here, see what's going on. Because if we manage to just nosedive forwards, we are dead. And it's settling. Don't sell. Okay, here we go. Nope, not like that. RCS, no, not like that. Oh man. I mean, I'm pulling up for all I'm worth. We're about to run out of electric charge. That's not good. Why, game? Why? What have I done to upset you so badly? What have I done to upset you so badly? Trying hard. Oh my god, what have I done? You can see, like, just thrust coming out of the bottom as I'm trying desperately to bring this up. Kilometer per second, are you ready for it? And with that, I don't know what's going on today. I will see you guys next time where I try and figure out what we're even going to do about it. I'm gonna load the last. I will see you guys next week when I've remembered how this game works. I don't even know how to outro at the moment, guys. With that, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me for this adventure, ladies and gentlemen. Is it an adventure or is it just a series of events? I will see you guys next time where we're going to try and fix all of this. Every single bit of it. We're going to try and fix it. But I will see you then when we're going to do that. Bye!